All right, check 1, 2. I got my dad revved up about EV.
Angels sang out in an after chorus. Down from the heavens descended Chuck Norris.
Yo, that's my boy right there, Ben405, the Ben Bot, over on Twitch. What's up, guys? Got the restream up right now. Anybody coming to us from Facebook or YouTube right now? Saturday morning style. Excited to paint on some Dark Vengeance models. I'm like pretty fucking stoked on it, actually. I don't know where the stokedness factor is coming from. Carlos over on the YouTube Dumpster Squadron. What's up? Thug Life. The Ben bot has arrived. Ben405 is actually just a bot. It's a script. He's an AI. That's right. Got Go Boy tuning in. What's up, man? Renegade. So I painted a Dark Vengeance by letting the dust pile up on it for Zenithal highlight. Facts. Bad 405. Said he wishes me success. We're gonna be going live at 6 on Tuesday. War Pigment. So we're gonna moving it completely. To sync up with Monument Hobbies, who've been moving their time for years for us, so we're just gonna do it for them. It's good timing though, honestly. Starting at 8, that's hard. That's a hard stream. So it just means that we're only getting like an hour of overlap. West Coast time, really good. Probably costs us a little bit at first. We're trying to be an hour earlier than last Tuesday. We're in toto 2 hours earlier than normal. Still 1 hour of overlap. So we'll still catch people who don't know about the time. What countries are muting my music rights? Wait, what? Applied in 50 territories? Motherfucker, I bought a license. Yo, I'm about to fucking sue, motherfucker. The following actions were applied to your video because they may contain 12 minutes and 16 seconds of audio. Netherlands. Okay, this is a list of nonsense territories. We're good. Never mind. 16 people. Can't see it. Scott, let's do it on Facebook, coming in with that like. Yo, dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up on that literal best of all days, coming to you live from that Beats Lab in Florida. Scott, thanks for the like over on the Face BZ, and Chris says, hope you're well, Kenny. Been a long time since I watched your videos. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in, brother. Just doing this thing, trying to multi-stream now. Because at TwitchCon this year, they lifted their embargo on partners being able to multi-stream. So now we're trying to go all over the place. Try to let everyone know where the action is. It's on Twitch, by the way. No disrespect to the Hobo Dumpster Squadron over on YouTube. To which there are like 18 of you guys right now, according to Restream. Oh, man. So, let me get some roll calls. Who's out here right now? We got, what, 2 people on Face BZ? I think it's Scott and Chris. God damn it. 23 people on YouTube suddenly? YouTube people. I mean, do whatever you want. Do whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. 40K Sue tuning in on Twitch. She's saying that she's also on Facebook. Jason, you're over on the Facebooks? Hell yeah, dude. So, Dark Vengeance, Thrift Store Rescue. We did score that haul first few days of getting to Inverness. Actually took some of the more choice pieces out of the box. like those clutch Deathwing Terminators, and that librarian actually mailed it in a gift bag. Because if you're new here, we do gift bags, exclamation point info. It's a big part of our business model, slinging hobby products to people in exchange for viewership, points, and money. But Recoil down in Australia, he got those Deathwing Terminators. We got Chill Sample over on the YouTube Dumpster Squad. He says, best of all day. With Devil Horns. What's up? Torgin over on the Twitches says, what's up? Torgin, just trying to do my thing. War Pigment is asking 40KC to keep me in line. War Will says he's lurking on his TV. Carlos over on the Dumpster Squad says, is it better to stream on a different platform than YouTube? For like the streamer? I mean, it's a big question. Like, Twitch is where the community mostly lives for painting. And it seems like battle reports are mostly living on YouTube. The culture of Twitch, in my opinion, is more dope. The community is more baller. And like, you know, feather in my own hat. Like, I was at the forefront of that. I've been doing it on Twitch for 7 years, bringing painting to that platform. So I feel like it just has a more welcoming community for painting. But like, also my origins are on YouTube as well. But you see, I don't really make YouTube videos anymore because it is a dumpster fire of monetization problems. So I have all my shit unchecked on YouTube. Like, every button I'm allowed to unclick for monetization, I have unclicked it. And then YouTube punishes me. They put me in YouTube jail. Like, so they don't push my shit out anymore. The algorithm just like locks me in a little jail cell because they're like, well, if you're gonna not, you know, click the monetize buttons, then why are we gonna send you out there? Like, okay, I'm gonna have to just go make money in a more traditional way by begging for chains on the side of the road in Twitch. Eric, what's up, brother? Eric over on the tube says, feel like it's been forever since you see me live. 7 straight years, 3 days a week, baby. Well, welcome back. This is why we're multi-streaming now, brother. Like I said, they let us do it now. We couldn't multi-stream before as partners on Twitch. Now we can. Robert passively implies you should move to Twitch. But, Robert, I do have chatbot or cloudbot set up right now on YouTube as well. I still think if you don't like Twitch, that's fine. I do have the cloudbot working over there, so that some of the links are still thrown out there. Some of the things you see on the screen, you should be able to still trigger commands slower, so you can still partake in the experience. It's a little throttled comparatively. We still have a rewards program and everything, so so you can still be active in chat, get points to still redeem things like that. Carlos, for the viewer, I think Twitch is a billion times better than YouTube for the viewer. 40K Sue in the chat. That's my mom, by the way. If you guys are new on the stream front over on Twitch right now, 40K Sue, the iciest mom in the game. She's in there watching me right now. What's up, mom? Carlos says he thanks me for my explanation. She's been watching me for years since like 2015. Bruh. I'm like the progenitor, dog. I appreciate you saying that. It's validated. Brian over on the tubes. What's up, man? Carlos says he's been watching for about 6 years. Before you actually even touched the model. Or watched the game in person. Saw him on the White OG over on the Twitches. Says, to our YouTube brothers and sisters, just subscribe to Kenny's Patreon for $10 a month. Watch whatever you want after that. Thank you for the promo. The endorsement. Carlos, I think he just super chatted me. Carlos, is that what that is? Is that a super chat? Carlos threw a 5-spot, says hippo character with Star Wars growing in his eyes, pumping his arms in the air with the word hype pulsating above him. What the fuck? Is that a description of an emote? Did you type that? That's good. Yo, let me get some love in the chat right there for Carlos. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I have no reward interaction with super chat, unfortunately. I can't, because super chat is like Twitch bits. You know what I mean? Like I can't connect that to a point scheme. So if you make a habit out of supporting your homie, you might want to do the exclamation point support option instead, in which the bot is designed to reward you with points for that. Gladiator over on Twitch just resubbed 13 months because he's a legend. What's up, brother? And War Pigment tossing bits over on the soup kitchen. Robert over on the tubes says, I used to watch you on Twitch like a religion, but it fell off. Life apparently a lot has changed. That's the nature, dude. It's just like a big wheel, right? Like it just keeps spinning around. And so my job is to constantly keep pulling new people in. That's been what I've been doing since day one, is finding ways to let people know that this exists. I used to throw money at it, bro, like tons of money on like YouTube ads and stuff, or Facebook ads. Carlos, super sticker. That was a super sticker. Word. Thank you, Russ. Hell yeah. War Will, I have been watching you for about 6 minutes. Fuck yeah. It's a little delayed because it has to go through CloudBot. But shout out to Carlos right there. As you guys can see, his on-screen shout out. RKO. You didn't type it. It was just giving me a description of it in my restream. Carlos, that's wild. War Will, so far so good. War Will, are you new to my platform? I appreciate you stopping by, homie. RN Royalty up in the Soup Kitchen says, yo, first saw you on Dice Check game with the Death Guard armor. Yo, that's tight. I'm glad I want to get back to Dice Check. We were supposed to, RN, during Cali Cup, me and Demeki, I don't know if you saw any of my Instagram content. Me and Demeki were kicking it at Cali Cup. I was doing commentating for the organization. We were planning on going down to Irvine to do but it just didn't work out. And then we were planning on doing it for LVO. Shout out to Almva. Thank you for the follow. But he has to go to Australia or some shit for work. So like now I don't know when's the next time, because now I'm in Florida, bro. Like a fucking, so like it's like trying to coordinate these things. Like I want to see the new Beats Lab. I want to get down there and get some games. Never got a chance to throw my Blood Angels on screen, but I have some chaos stuff in the workshop right now. Head Stover, thank you for the bits as well. We'll run it back to chat, buddy. Funster tuning in. What's up, homie? Told us UK. Bryant Bivens says the emote is cool AF. Fuck yeah, it is. War Will says, yeah, never watched it before. Will, thanks. You're welcome. We're going to get this shit started. It's not just a talk show. Saturday, I keep it a little bit more informal. It's traditionally the Saturday morning show because, I lived on the West Coast for 7 years. So, like, this would have been normally, like, the morning. But now it's the afternoon. All right, so let me just do a couple little promos, and then we're going to get to the painting, okay? The promos are how I have to get paid, so I don't have to go back to work. But, I say that I've been doing this for 13 years. So, exclamation point patrons is my current promo here. If you sign up on my Patreon, War Pigment, the legend. Mark of the Pig, 404, file not found. Shout out to War Pigment, throwing me some love on the Twitches. I appreciate you, brother. Get some strong man love on the Twitch side. Exclamation point patrons is the promo, though. If you sign up on my Patreon page while I'm streaming, $10 or more, and you DM me on platform, right? Like, you're like, hey, fucker, I did that sign up thing you told me to do. Then we can book for a private, free painting consultation, because I do educate. That's a big part of my platform. I sell classes, private, one-on-one, with a whole curriculum. I've graduated over 300 people personally. But you can sign up for $10. We can do a 30-minute, like, half credit consultation and, kind of try before you buy as an added incentive to get you on Patreon, because I need to build out my Patreon base of $10 or above supporters. I appreciate you guys. This is going to be my big promo right now. moving to 2024, I need to expand my Patreon platform, or I'm gonna be living at my mom's house for a lot longer. Next, yeah, it is Saturday, meaning 2x Yo Dogs every Saturday. So if you support me using the Streamlabs mechanic, not Super Chat, unfortunately, it's double our stream points. So you can get these 6 swag bags. Shout out to these sponsors here. Exclamation point info if you want to know more. Exclamation point super post. This is back to Patreon, guys. If you're on my Patreon page, there is a post that I always am updating. It's one mega post that has links to all the other super posts of big projects we've completed. Okay, so if you ever get confused and you're like, man, where's that Magnus? You know, it's always going to be in the super post too. Exclamation point super post. But also, if you want to know about Magnus specifically, exclamation point chat. They'll take you straight to it. Okay, exclamation point class. Final promo before we get started. This is where you go if you want to sign up for my curriculum. Thank you guys for letting me promo. Let's run over to the money shot cam. Carlos says, can't stay long. Oh, appreciate you stopping by for a little bit, man. John, pile of shame for your curriculum. I'll hit you up on IG for the program. I appreciate you with it. Yep, you can always hit me up on Instagram, brother. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Let me just scan through. And now I am still learning how to read chat, like kind of all over again. So I'll apologize in advance if I miss anything in chat. Don't hesitate to ping me twice. You know what I mean? Like if it comes down to it. The situation is the chat has got a new UI and it doesn't highlight the same way. So I'm used to seeing like a color highlight pull my attention, and that's just not happening right now. So I have to kind of rebuild a new habit. Let's lock into the cradle. The obesity cradle engage. So yesterday we started on this thrift shop. Hold on a second, let me pull up my camera. We started on this thrift shop rescue. Now you guys remember when I moved to Inverness a few months back, my mom took me to a thrift shop and they had a Dark Vengeance box for like $6. And I opened it up and there was like a bunch of sub-assembled models. And there was a few models that were painted crudely in a dentine ice container. And I gave away a bunch of the Deathwing Terminators already to some of you guys. But I'd been stripping some of these models and I forgot about them. So I pulled this guy out yesterday and I showed we cleaned them up, primed them, and did the base coats, utilizing a combination of airbrush strategies and paintbrush strategies. So if you want to get caught up on where we are right now, you got to go to the VODs. But don't worry, at the end of every project, or at least on the weekends, so tomorrow, I will cut, edit, and publish like our current progress on the project on Patreon too. Make it easier. But right now where we are is we started with a light airbrush workup with some ivory bullshit. Then we blocked in some red shenanigans. Used our airbrush to kind of smooth that out. So we used our airbrush to get the cloth set in a decent smooth pattern, because that's always a headache, right? The mistake here would have been to try to airbrush some green and then hand cut all that bullshit. So instead we just hand cut the green. And then we just blocked everything in real quick just to cut a mean sharp image. So we did some highlights and stuff. So we'll go back to that. Today's agenda, I think first things first is to sort out all the details. We're gonna like just ignore the cloth and sort details out. Okay. So I got a wet palette right here. Squirt a little bit of water on this joint. Go for a painting. What's up, brother? Tuning in from the hobo tubes. This is my parchment paper, yo. Yeah, I'm running low. Oh no, am I almost out? I'm about to call fucking Red Grats games. They're always on my ass about calling them more often. I got more. We're good. Fuck them. Red Grass. I didn't mean it like that. What's this world coming to? Let me just scroll back and chat. Brian, it's clean. I know. I watched it just before the show. Literally 5 minutes before the show. Redcoat, you're over on Twitch. Welcome to the Soup Kitchen, brother. Someone give that man a sub. All right. Let's get back to what we were doing. So we were being a bit hobo-ish, which is normal for me. Fuck, where my paints at? How am I missing paints? Like, I'm looking right at where the paint should be, and I'm not fucking seeing them. How did you get all the way over here? That doesn't make any sense, bro. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Where's the green, yo? I'm about to look on the floor. Oh my god. Yeah. Green on the floor? Green, did I put you away for some insane reason? I never put paint away. It's crazy. Serious? I straight up put the green away. Like, what the hell is wrong? Put the blue away? What am I doing? Okay. I'm just like straight hobo action right now. Okay. So let's sort out the wings. So let's just get some white down here. Right now, what we're looking at, guys, is black blue with white mixed in it. So we made a gray, and then we kind of based everything in that gray. And what that gray really is blue gray. It's black blue with white mixed in, okay? So, combination of these two paints right here. Now, I'd like it to be maybe slightly prettier than that on some of these wings. So let's grab a little sky blue. Rinse this brush. We got some brush soap kind of just sitting on this brush. Lady Fluffy Bottom in the chat right now says it's not you, it's the ADHD gremlins. That's right. I did take my Adderall right before the show. Milo over on YouTube says the Dark Vengeance set was my first proper entry to 40K aside from moving models with no idea in the 90s. Hell yeah, man. That's nostalgia. So, web palette set up. Let's get back to that bluish gray we were talking about. So, Saruman, the white OG. Let's get some love right there for the legend. He says, okay, folks, here's the top D benchmark for today. Someone knocked me off the top 4. Saruman, the white OG, jumping to 33.3. Beast mode multiplier, 2x yo DZs, and I think we are missing the beast mod right now. Love Minis is doing something. I think I'm not gonna dox her or anything, so I was gonna call her out as the gangster, but shout out to my man Saruman. So now let's flip it. Let's take some of the sky blue and introduce some of that to kind of pretty up this color range. You see? So it's really just a gray with more blue in it. You see? And I wanted to be a little bit prettier for this emblem right here. So let's just start real quick with a quick cover up. Yo, my man William over on YouTube. Thank you for the sub, brother. We're going to use the heart pool strategy. We're semi-opaque and a little wet. We're going to rotate the model so that we're making little pulls right back to our body. And this is the brushstroke of precision. And we're going to work off of that little wet edge and look for a clean cover. And you want to just be precise and always be rotating. Okay, that brushstroke is critical. I teach all my students that technique. Now, we're going to let that dry for a second. You see, we've kind of reset it with just this kind of bluer combination. Semi-opaque, little wet. Always be rotating. Let's look for our heart pull right here. And what I think we can do here actually is something a little more interesting. I think we can run a heart pull this way. Stop, and then do it here. See that? Rotate. And now that I look at it, so these are really delicate little wings. But we're trying to create like a pseudo highlight, you see? Always be rotating, look for that heart pull. Yo, my man Milo says, all my Dark Angels got the rotate technique. It worked brilliantly. Always be rotating, baby. Okay, let's reinforce. Oh, that's weird. Get a little bit of moisture. Let's take a little bit of the darker agent while it's still just a little wet. We're just going to walk that in. What I'm trying to do is create just a subtle little blend right here by keeping the paint slightly wet and using the heart pull with light brush pressure. You see that? We're just trying to get something kind of cute, right? And behind that, right here behind his sword, it's a little tricky. Just kind of have to do your best to sneak in there. Always be rotating. We're just setting it on low opacity, slightly wet right now. Because that's going to be such a big part of the paint job is that headpiece. And now we're going to try some of that same tech right here. Where I think what we can do is kind of same thing, like outside, walk your way back in. We're just going to use semi-opaque, slightly wet paint, pulling it right from the wet palette, and use that capillary action to kind of blur them. And when you're running the paint this low opacity, it doesn't do a whole lot of impacts, but it is easy to blur with moisture. You just got to be careful when you're running it a little wet like this. It's harder to control. So light brush pressure. Now that's not white, right? That's straight up gray still, right? So like that's the problem is you got to make it actually white. Running it back to chat. My man Brian over on the Hobo Tube says, not a 40k guy, but can his technique translate to D&D minis very well? Yes, sir, Brian. This is the trade of miniature painting. That's what I teach. Straight trade techniques. I'm a professional commercial artist. I'm all about proceduralizing and repeating and sustainability. Milo says, stick it in, slightly rotating, slightly wet. He says, have you met my wife too? Yeah, man. So now what we should be able to do is cut straight to the chase, get rid of that. Let's change to the 18-0 synthetic. This is in my syllabus. And we're gonna probably grab just a touch. And I don't use this product in the traditional way, but I like the glaze medium for Monument Hobbies. I don't use it for glazing. I use water for glazing like an adult. We use the medium to lower the opacity without adding moisture. So we're gonna take the white, add a little bit of the medium. So we have semi-opaque, low moisture. We're gonna rotate. We're gonna lock in for the heart pull, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna just focus fire on these wings now, these feathers. And we're just going to get that shelf. That's a little too wet right there. Rotate. You see, we're just working the actual feathers now. Milo, he's like, phew, she's rolling with the big dogs. So what we want to do now is we're using basically our patented edge highlight strategy. So you always be able to catch the rotation. You want to use the heart pull here. And just run it straight back. And you're looking for precise. And so we're just using this tool to put straight little lines down. Now you could try to like dry brush this thing or some shit like that, which is not bad or anything. It's just this is a focal point on the model. Like this is super important. So I want precision. Rotate. Rotate, rotate, rotate. I'm going to use a little bit of moisture here. Maybe take some of this original puddle. And I want something that splits the difference a little bit here. So some of these are pretty wide right here. So I just want to kind of hit it with a slightly lighter gray. Right up, and like just butt it right up against the white. And kind of smooth that harshness out. Kind of a little band-aid. Turn that light down a little bit. Rinse that down. Bryant says Kenny's new gig, voiceover porn. That has been suggested to me before. So I'm on the white OG. He asks, can you say why you prefer why you use water for glazing instead of glaze medium? Water evaporates fast. That's what you want. You want water, lower the opacity, remove the excess moisture, glaze. You want it to dry fast. Milo says, long-time viewer, first time live stream chatter. Keep up the great work, dog. First time caller, long time listener. I'm glad you found us, man. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit more hardcore now. We're back to white. So what we want to do here is get these smaller feathers right here. Using just little heart pulls. High opacity. Low moisture, just straight raw dog paint. Straight up Monument Hobbies, Bold Titanium White. So we've got a bit of a blur. Creating a little bit of definition. Looking for high contrast. As always. And again, we use the glaze edit. That's what we call this. We teach this in the classes. We're finding the thing between white and gray, lowering the opacity, and we're using it as a little bit of a band-aid to blur any of our white brush strokes that got a little crazy. You just kind of run it between the border of both, like along that tide line you created. So now we've got a nice clean feather there. Now the frame, I'm not sure what they're doing for the frame, but you know, there's probably gonna have to start being some introduction of gold to the model. So I think that we need to frame it in something, and let's just figure out our goals. Oh man. I think I got some. Let's just get it sorted right now so we can see what it looks like. Mo's Magic tuning in. What's up? Hold on, let me shake the fuck out of this. Almost out. This is mahogany, by the way. Where it's almost empty. We're gonna go classic orange. So orange and mahogany. And golden brown. We're just gonna take we're gonna create the orange right here. We're just going to carefully, using the small brush again, paint the frame. Using the heart pull. You want to make sure to get the riser right there. Always be rotating. Right there. So there's your mahorn lay down. Now, all we're going to do is take the bright kind of golden color and we're just going to block in real quick. This is just a golden brown. It's not quite dry. I'm going to wait a second. It's a little tacky, and I think that's just because this mahogany is super old and very thick right now. So let that dry for a second. It's probably a little over mediumed. While that's drying up, we might as well take some of our mahorn. Maybe coat this. That's a little wet, semi-opaque. Decent coverage for a little base coat. So I'm certain that I'll paint this sword guard thingy goldish. And I can't see the back. It's too dark. Always be rotating. Just crank the light. Other things that'll end up being gold are likely to be this thingy. Probably also this. Let's just not overcomplicate it. Now, how many of my people out there are Dark Angel fanboys? Seems to be a lot of you guys. War Pivot says, I like DA, but I'm not a fanboy. Get this thing semi-opaque, just a little wet. Darth Rosie, Dark Angels fanboy. Sormon says, I've always played Ultramarines, but then again, I haven't played 40k in 30 years. Nice. My first main army was Dark Angels, Carlos. So, you know, obviously doing the sword, like, awesome blue fucking crossfade and shit like that would be sick, but isn't, like, lore-wise, wouldn't its guy be using, like, a Sword of Secrets kind of situation? Like a black sword? Isn't that, like, typically lore-wise the situation? So we're going to take straight up the bright golden brown. And we're going to apply it right here in this corner. Like so. Maybe a little bit right here. And a little bit right here. Okay? And so just like that, what we're trying to do is create what I call the tri-blend. We teach this too. Bright, dark, bright. So I forced the bright part to the corners. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our puddle. Create respect, split the difference between it and this color. We're just going to butt that right up against the highlight. Oh, this fucking wet pallet's straight up in my way. And what you want is you want that bright, dark, bright. Like so. Now what we're gonna do is take a little straight up white, move it into that bright yellow orange bullshit. Right there. Right there. Right there. And maybe one more step. The whiter you go, the shinier you're saying it is. High opacity, low moisture, just touch. Now, if we could put a bit of a tracer right here, this will be clutch. And right here. Now, we got a little bit on the green. That's to be expected. That's great, because I was going to pin wash the green better anyway. I'm going to run it back to chat. Carlos says, decided because it's my favorite color scheme. Dark Angels are pretty fucking awesome looking. Real cool for sure. Mo's Magic, my first army was Dark Angels. Anva says, Ultramarines fanboy. War Will says, what's your opinion on Grim Dark in dirty versus clean heavy metal style paint jobs? Whew. Whew. That's a TED talk for me, dog. You're new here, so maybe I'll have to keep it. Yeah, War Pigment just hit you with that. I'll give it to you straight, though, War Will. Here's the problem with Grimdark, is that nobody does it good, except like 5 people. So those 5 people make people think that it's dope. But doing a proper Grimdark color like model takes just as much precision as doing what heavy metal does. It's literally the same thing. There's no shortcut to it. The problem is that the market is attracted to the concept of the shortcut, which is fine. I'm a shortcut master. That's my whole game, dude. So I'm on the OG, just gifted a sub to the red coat. Let me get some love and chat right there. So I'm the OG cheat code guy. But if you're drawn to a grim dark style and you've done a little research, and you're like, yo, I get my streaking grimes, I get my weathering, this and that, and you start looking at the shortcuts, the gimmicks of these products, and you start using them without the precision, you end up with just trash. And so what I teach my students is the only objective rule in art is contrast. You must have it. And for miniatures, what that means is value-based contrast. That means the dark shit needs to be dark and the bright shit needs to be bright. Everything in between those two core concepts is a bonus. So heavy metal just does dark stuff dark, bright stuff bright. Period. It looks flawless. You can, if you took an heavy metal paint job and then applied grim dark to it, that is kind of what the top level dudes do. They make the bright shit bright, the dark shit dark, and then they craft the weathering in, the chipping, everything. But if you try to bake that shit in, you end up with a low contrast pile of shit, and then you find like a subreddit, you go there where everybody else has their bullshit looking trash, and they just kind of suck each other's dicks for like fucking in their little masturbation cocoon, talking about how, you know, they're the only ones that are good at painting, but everybody else just paints like a cartoon. So you don't want to go down that journey. This is like 7 years of me condensing a topic. So make the dark shit dark and the bright shit bright. Deploy the precision. Find the shortcuts. Find the gimmicks. But always remember, if you're doing any weathering technique, you're applying that to something that you painted. That's what effects are. Not baking them in. You will always have a less good product if you do that. Hopefully that helps. And also, as War Will says, I go for the clean, but my paint skill levels, my models more grim dark, but my painting skills leave my models more grim dark. Yeah. Look, I'm always a proponent of teaching. You teach an artist the techniques to deploy precision, and then you let them cultivate their own style. So if you like So all I teach is precision. I teach the techniques of precision, and then my students go off on a journey and they do whatever they need to do with it. Botroids says, what do you mean baking them in? It's like an OSL, right? If I started painting this guy like with a glow, like trying to make things glow in real time as I was painting it, that's baking it in. No, you paint the model like nothing's glowing, then you fucking apply the effect. My 201 curriculum is about effects, the procedure of effects. But you can't learn how to do effects unless you have the foundation technique. You saw how like I made you see how I made a non-metal metallic frame in like literally 2 seconds? Like it was nothing, right? So I'm going to take, and I thought I was going to do this anyway, but I'm going to take some, I need to make the dark stuff even darker. So I want to take some transparent green and some transparent black. And semi-opaque, a little wet. And I was going to make the frame here darker anyway, so I'm going to use this to erase my mistakes. With a heart pull right there. So we're creating a border. This is what I mean about making the dark shit dark and the bright shit bright. It's about having borders and frames around everything. And we're using the heart pull and the stipple and the moisture definition of semi-opaque and a little wet. And we teach all our students that concept of respect. So now we've got that. And we're going to rinse and repeat, right? So let's go for right here. War Whale says, to be fair, just want models table worthy. Yep, that's my system. My 101 technique is how to get table ready in an attainable, sustainable way. But by using my procedures, your shit's going to be 80th percentile and table ready. You don't need to do all this NMM bullshit, but even then it's easy. It's just an effect. So right here, same concept. So right, we're going to take the bright thing and we're going to create a tri-blend. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to make it bright here and here. Bright, dark, bright. And in the centerpiece here, we're going to do it completely different. We're going to go just stipple in right there. So this will be like a wish.com NMM. Okay. We're going to go, same thing. We're going to split the difference. We're going to take some of our original brown and orange. Introduce a little bit of our brighter color to it. It might be a little too wet. Maybe a little bit more orange or a little bit more brown. Stealing a little bit more mahogany. And we're just really just stippling. And getting kind of the core bright, dark, bright feeling, right? And then we're going to move right back to the bright variant, and we're going to try to be high opacity, low moisture here. And we're going to try to apply bright here. And this also shows you that you don't really need to do an NMM effect as long as you're just kind of using the same colors that you would associate. So now this is called a tracer technique. We're using the side of our brush and writing on that rail. And see, now you start snapping it in, just using the same exact colors. Stipple, stipple, that's the sewing machine stroke. Art pull right here. Rotate, always be rotating, looking for that heart pull. My man, one Brennan over on Twitch, thank you. We're going to heart pull right here. So all we did was just bright line, bright line, bright line. Too easy. We're gonna just do the kind of, we're gonna go into the feathers real quick. Just like that. One more step. We're gonna grab some white. We're just gonna touch here, here. So we just added some white to the mix. It's not actually even white yet. We're going to run that tracer right there. Rotate. Always be rotating. Hold your breath. Swing it from right to left. Right there. 2 seconds. So once you learn the techniques, like the moisture and opacity component, which is my 101 curriculum, it's three lessons, then you're ready for effects. And effects are just like decorating a Christmas tree. As long as you understand the procedures, which are pretty fucking easy. So let's get this, since we're on this tear right now, let's get set up. We're using my orange, which is just mahogany orange. Okay, we're going to add some of our bright golden brown, whatever, basically an ochre. And here, what we'll do is kind of just do the outside here. When it's small like this, you can get away with just do it with just kind of highlighting it. You barely even have to do an MM, if at all. See, we're just kind of poking at it and highlighting and using the same kind of gold spectrum. There's a sword, so the only tricky part I would say is you want to make sure that the sword is isolated, okay? So we're using high opacity, low moisture right now. Shout out to the gentleman, 35 months, says, what's good, dude? Dark Angels looking tight. Thank you, brother. War Will, thank you for the follow on the Twitch. So we want to make sure, and I might get a little crazy here. Bright up here. So I went bright, and I'm actually creating a crossfade on this little sword. Okay. I'm even going to try to do a tiny little edge highlight here. Let's grab a little white. And we're going to try very gently to put a perimeter of white right there. And this is white mixed a little bit with our kind of ochre color. Get those perimeters. Sorry if I went out of focus. Now, classic Dark Angels bullshit. There is indeed like a crack in that sword. Right there. So we're just going to touch these thingies too. Let's go back a step. Grab more of the yellowy color. We're going to lower the opacity. And I want to just make sure there's a little bit more of this present. To kind of take it away from the brown. See, all we did was kind of just touch the edges. And because it's yellow color, you're like, yeah, it's gold. Fuck it. Bryant over on the tubes. Sorry if I'm missing in any of these comments. He says, Kenny, I have a discount code for Monument Hobbies. Yes, we do. Exclamation point new heat. I believe that works on YouTube as well. Let's take a little of this white. And let's see if we can carefully throw like a perimeter highlight on this little skull. Okay, now let's do something similar for these ropes. I'm just going to touch the cord itself. We're not repainting them. We're just using the heart pull. See that? 2 seconds. He's also got a skull right here. So we're going to kind of frame his eyes and his nose. And kind of just create a little line there and there. Now we are, because it's so big, we're probably going to have to get some of the gray back on the palette. A lighter gray. So just kind of touch the edges. Now it's got like a belt buckle in here. It looks like another skull hidden inside of here. A championship belt. Just chilling inside there. He's got this grenade. So since we're right here, let's take some of this black. I'll show you guys some neat tricks. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna run a dark line there against the details. And because the grenade is is a cylinder. So what we want to do is just run a dark line straight down the length of the cylinder. Like that. Now we're going to take some white into the mix. And we're going to try to run right up against that line. Like that. We're going to try to catch this little thing right here. Right there. So all we did was put a dark line, a bright line. And what I'm going to try to do is create like a fake, kind of almost like a horseshoe right here. So we just got that like frag grenade chilling, or that concussion grenade right there. Ray Price says, Dark Angels don't hide skulls. What are you talking about? That's right. Let's take some black. Put it right there in that recess. Now we've got the frag grenade over here. Now this is probably supposed to be green, right? The frag grenade. Isn't that typically what they are? So let's take some brown, little touch of transparent green. So we're gonna create more of like a camo green. We're gonna water it down so it's low opacity and kind of see-through. We just shifted it away. We're going to want it to look completely different than the rest of the model, though. Like I said, we're just trying to shore up these foundations real quick. Let me grab a... Looking for potentially a different brown. Oh, this was... Oh, I didn't grab mahogany. No wonder. This is like dried up transparent brown. No wonder it was acting weird. Alright, here we go. Here's some... straight dark golden brown. Oh, God. I'm glad it looked... Got it all over my hand. I want to get some love in the chat for Soromon and War Pigment. Thank you for your financial support today. Money, 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 baby. I need that shit. Turns out, can't even drink a glass of water for free anymore. So we're going to make a leathery color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of this black, some of this white, some of this brown, make like a desaturated brown. And we're going to get his little satchel. Right there. We'll probably get his strap with this too. We're just raw dogging it using the heart pull. Excuse me. Who that? War Pigment. I'm gonna get some strong man love in the chat for my boy War Pigment. I think he's a streamer now. 3D artist. Necron, or sorry, Orc Tyrannid Connoisseur. Get some love right there. Alright, let me rinse that down. Now, since I have that color, sometimes what I like to do is, like... Okay, let me just finish it out again. So, before I get crazy. So, let's just take that, and we're going to deliberately desaturate it with even more white. Maybe a touch of this. Scoop some of that out. Now, all we're going to do is sneak in here. And just box it out using the tip of our brush, a little respect, little heart pull. Okay, don't overthink it just yet. We're going to run a tracer. Right there, high opacity, low moisture. Always be rotating. Now we'd like to get a little bit of intrigue here. So what we're going to do is maybe lower the opacity a little bit here. Split the difference. We're going to do a bunch of little heart pulls. Kind of where I think a highlight might be right there. So we're kind of setting up some texture. Same thing here. First, I'm just blurring our edge. But I'd like to sneak in and run like a couple of lines against the grain. See that? I'm going to go back a step, blur right here. Now up here on this strap, so we created some of these little texture lines on the leather. And what we're going to do, and the thing is you don't want the leather to get too crispy or it looks all shiny. Unless you're doing shiny leather, but here we're doing like some, like a nice worn leather strap. Or pigment gets it. Hold on. So what we want to do now is get back to the original brown. Maybe a little black. And we want to oppose some of these little lines we created by going above them. Using the heart pull. Real basic, super easy effect. Nothing too crazy. How do I stop my camera from autofocusing? I turned autofocus off. Poor pigment. It's on manual focus. Is that an OBS? No, it's the camera. It's a Logitech camera, so I have the Logitech camera software. I think the new software they use is like the game software. I think it's harder to use that, honestly. I have like the old shit for like 6 years. So we're gonna go back to the gold. One of these days I'm about to get a DSLR because all this janky old school shit I'm using is not going to be supported anymore. So we're just kind of touching things like we've been doing. Sick. It's like really just highlighting at that point. We're not actually doing NMM. High opacity, low moisture. Touch of white. More pigment. Yeah, I have the old Logitech camera software popped up on the side. And you see me moving my hand and autofocusing it. Or manually focusing it. So I'm staying in my focal range right now. But sometimes I have to move it around. Alright, so we're getting these bullshit ass details done. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the purity seal. So I've got this kind of brown right here, right? Let's add some blue, actually, to the brown. I'm going to make this kind of wacky variant right here. And we're going to go over these. And the problem is we want this purity seals to look a little different than the ivory he's made of. So that's what makes it tricky. So normally you use like a parchment style color, but his robe is basically that exact color that you would typically paint a purity seal, right? So what we're doing is trying to hit it with a completely different set of colors. So we took brown and white, black and black, and added a touch of blue to it. Kind of made this dirty blue, brown, gray situation. It's basically like almost like a stone color. Right there. Now we're adding more white back in. You fight it big time. More pigment. Oh yeah. You have like the game software. Is that what it is, right? It's like the game camera controller. Let's water this down a little bit. Let's kind of split the difference. We're going to kind of move in between the two. Do a bit of an edit. So try to make that purity seal visually different is the name of the game. Just using little heart pulls. Bringing some white in. Let that ride for now. The one that Logitech makes, I don't like. Because the way turning autofocus off is annoying. But you can turn autofocus off. It's just annoying. But you might be able to just do it through OBS. Like, I do my 930 through OBS. A little bit more white. Right there. Let's just grab some burnt red. Time to set up macros. I just so every time I go live, it resets. So every time I go live, I double click my face, click configure video, I check white balance, I uncheck auto exposure, and I make sure, like I do that every time I go live on my face. See, it froze because I was doing it. But on my models, it does save because I'm using the Logitech software. So I just grabbed some burnt red, guys. And I like to jump around when I paint a model like this, like I've been doing. The only thing, my only real plan was we're not touching the fabric yet. I'm bound to make mistakes, you know, when I'm doing details. So you kind of want to ignore it. We're going to go back to the headpiece, though, because that's going to be a whole thing. But I didn't want to get bogged down in the headpiece for the whole show. Let's do that grenade real quick. Actually, let me grab white. Let me finish this chord right here. Welcome to the feast, my whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Okay, so we're gonna use a little white. You know I'm a beast. Welcome to the feast, my whole team off the leash. We don't know defeat. Everybody eat. Right there. High opacity, low moisture. We're using the stipple heart pull. Back in the lab again. You when I touching the friends, you when I touching the can, putting the points on the board, I'm killing the boys, you know what it is. Switching the moves, no number 2, I came in the win. Said I'm tapped in with the action, if it got the master on a master, I can never move passive. I'm active, I can make them go close on this cast. But wanna know who running it? Just ask us on the track. I'm gunning it, I'm blasting this that gas with diesel shack and dog. See that? Just like right over the gray. We're using that low moisture paint.
This is beast mode. Got an edge on the game like a cheat code. Had to tighten up my focus like a peephole. I want the rings in the chains like I'm Depot. Picked up, walking, check my
there we go.
We established when it's show. Time to squat, making plays. Ooh, it's magic like some. We want the smoke. Y'all ain't really about that action. We got perfect off the practice. They ain't working, so they lack it. I've been hungry all my life. I ain't passing up a plate. I can't quit until I win. I ain't having no debates. This is sacrificing heart. That's exactly what it's.
And to me, a lot of people will just paint this and then try to wash it. But I want a little bit more precision than that. And I think I'm actually going to go back to the gold color that we were messing with for these. Little gold tassels. Get those little tassels. Shout out to Milo says, did you use Mechanics Gray or you just painted directly on a plastic? Some people swear by just painting on a plastic. Mechanics Gray? Base mechanic. Is that like a color from GW or something? I primed it. Yeah. I use primer like through my airbrush. So these little tassels, what I want now is I want to go back to the darker brown. And send a little bit in there to kind of break them up. Semi-opaque and a little wet. Just kind of create that border, that separation. Dark things dark, bright things bright. Let that dry. Mechanic is great. It's the rattle can. Yeah, that's fine. That's good stuff too, I think. I mean, it's like 30 bucks, right? Should be. Let me move right here. Let's make a special cool white. So I just added white to the sky blue. We're doing heart pulls. Little tracer. Right there. Take a little bit more white. Kind of just touch it. Go through those little textures. Using the heart pull. Like so. We're going to take some of the transparent black. Okay, we're going to lower the opacity just a little bit. We're going to paint the bottom of the feather in that same direction with a coat of black. And we're going to make sure to go along the stem down the center. As well. Okay. Let that dry for a minute. Come back to it. Except we're gonna get to these wings. So I just know they're gonna be a bit of a slog. So let's take a quick second to block in. Let's block in some of this red that we know we're gonna need to do. So let's take some of this burnt red. I'm gonna lower the opacity. So it's water. It's a little watery. And I'm going to use that to kind of spread it and lock in the bolter case. Like that. And so I'm using a watered down variant. It's going to stick really easily to this gray. See that? And now we're subtracting from the gray that we put there. And you see how like it's not silver paint, it's not even NMM, it's not even Wish.com NMM, it's just like a bluish gray. And it like your brain is like, yeah, I'll take that, I'll buy it. Let's come back up here. Let's grab our white again. Let's rinse. What I'm doing is I'm taking those two feathers right there. I'm making them like eagle feathers. They're actually pretty good. Let's take a little let's make a little gray color into the black. And the hard part is honestly this thingy. That like little stem. And they actually impressively, for an old sculpt, I mean that stem is very pronounced. There you go. All right, let's run over here to this. Okay, I'm gonna keep forgetting about this. God damn it. Let's grab some of the transparent green. Dr. Rhino in the chat. What's up, brother? So, on that little grenade, I made like a brown green, I think. Let's grab some white. Let's grab some of this. We're just doing like the tops of those little squares. Nothing too crazy. Let's go back, take some of the transparent black. Run it through the gutters. Let's take a little white into the black so it's gray. Get that thingy and the pin right here. Grenade done. Easy mode. Alright. And today our plan is just get bullshit details locked in. We're ignoring the fabric entirely. The fabric is just in its base airbrush state. And we're just plucking little details out, okay? Shout out to the chat. Milo over on YouTube, he said, looking at painting the Kairos Lord of Change. Is that the Fate Weaver? Got any tips? You own an airbrush, I'm assuming, right? I think I can do a little bit better up here now that we've had some time to move around the model. So I think we need to reinstall some of the dark stuff. So let's go back over here. Let's take a little of the black blue. Semi-opaque and a little wet.
On your mark, ready, get set, go. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. Look at the time. Oh no, I gotta go and get it. I was born ready. Hey, check the time, check the score. Oh, we still winning. Yeah, we still lit. Hey, top floor, top C. Yeah, we big business.
I noticed that some of my lines are a little wrong. We're bringing super low opacity gray back in. And there's like a weird pattern to this, which is interesting. Let's get some high opacity, low moisture white. Want that to look clean. Unhappy Dan, 45 months, the legend returns. All right, so last thing before we do a whip session, or two last things. Exclamation point whip, we're gonna load up for whips. I'm gonna get these tassels sorted real quick. Right here, with some heart pulls. I'm gonna use the brighter ochre color, maybe a touch of white. Where I just kind of dragged along some of the tassel action. Okay, and then I want to work on the gun just real quick. So right now the gun is simple. It's just the black blue with white mixed in. That's the whole, that's the gray of the gun. So we're going to take that, make it a little brighter. And we're going to just kind of install some highlight action. We're going to walk with the cylinder shape of the barrel right here. Skulls right there. We're a little wet, a little wetter than I want to be. There's a latch right here. Right there. So we're just running a little heart pull. Modified tracer. We might get this on the red. That's fine. See, we're not even doing anything but just little highlights. There's the gun sight right there. A little bit of respect. Rotate. See, we're just kind of framing things out. Bright things bright, dark things dark. That'll probably be gold. But we don't even really have to do an NMM technique. We just have to kind of highlight things. Make some bright lines and some dark lines. That one got a little wacky, but I expected that. So I'm going to go back in time to the more respectful gray. Erase that a little bit. Let's take a little bit more of this white. Let's go right here on the barrel. So we're just going to kind of frame it. Recoil.
Burninating the countryside, burninating the peasants, burninating all the people.
In the thatch roof cottages. Let me get some strong man love in the chat from my man Recoil lurking and jerking. 25 bucks. I appreciate you, brother. Gonna get some hype. Yo, I was asking where my Dark Angel fanboys at. Happy Dan, the cape is badass. This is just airbrush, dog. You know me. Oh, Milo, you were answering my question. You only have a brush. So my biggest do's and don'ts would be don't paint that model without a fucking airbrush. Buy one. Exclamation point gear. I've got a gear list, baby. Every day you're not airbrushing, you're just wasting more time. Will change your life forever. So right now, Recoil, this is just our black blue mix. Little white in it. And we're just adding some Wish.com highlights to the metal parts with our normal procedures. Right there. Nothing too wild, you see? Just a little bit more white right here. Here. Here.
Everybody please relax. Check it. Yo, I got MCE sewn on my chest. I run into the booth like Superman and leave.
Get that little latch right there. Since I'm working on it up here too. Recoil up in the house. He is the Dark Angels fanboy. Let's grab a little bit more transparent black. Let's do a bit of a pin wash. Transparent black. And we're separating now with the dark line what we just painted from the red. See, dark lines, bright lines. Put a little on that little latch. Right there. Separate it right there from the leather. Let's get a little bit more black. Try to be respectful here. Separate those little guys. Let's put a little line right here next to that line on the barrel. Let's put a little bit of highlight right here. Too easy. Let's take some of that black recoil. What you working on right now, homie? How's your mom? Let's jam a little transparent black in this gutter. Purity seal. Latch. Right there. The most loyal Legion chapter in the galaxy. 100% no heresy. That's right, dog. Let's take just a touch more white recoil. And what I did right there was I made like a little shine. Kind of right there on the plasma. Just walked it down a little bit. Now, before I get too far, let's grab our orange ochre brown mix. I think that little doodad. Recoil says, I'm scheming on stuff. Got a lot going through the brain box at the moment. Heard that, brother. Exclamation point whip. We're getting set up. As soon as I get that little eagle There's our bright mix.
You came first, you in first place. Eat you like cake on my birthday. So delicious. I just want to nibble your body.
See, we're not even doing anything anymore. We're just highlighting that shit. You don't have to really do the NMM technique anymore. On these little tiny guys, you just have to pop it.
Waited all night, put the kids to sleep. Then you slid in the sheets, you become a freak. Every position, Kama Sutra. Smooth operator, lady, I'll seduce ya. Sip your Merlot while I twist the purple dro. The mood is all set, it's the perfect mode. I'll be all over you like a body.
See if I can get this.
All the talk, use body language, yeah. Don't stop, girl, you know I don't stop. Don't stop, girl, you know I don't stop. Don't stop, girl, you know I don't stop. Don't stop, girl, you know I don't stop.
Rotate. See if I can get the inside of the eagle right here. Let's go back a step, a little bit oranger and yellower.
Joints in the gold chain, living it up, living it up, living it up. Pin sagging gold krills, living trilling the cut, trilling the cut.
There we go.
Joints in the gold
Let's take a little of the transparent black tech.
living it up. Now I'm stunting like a big timer. The boy started from the bottom like Drake. I'm a big climber.
Right there. And then we gotta just detail out the red, which you can do anything you want with the red. Probably the simplest thing in the world though. Let's just take a little bold pyro, which I'm almost out of, shockingly. Got some right here though. Take a little bold pyro. Goddamn. Straight up.
Joints in the gold chain, living it up, living it up, living it up. Pin sagging
And let's see if we can just
trilling the cut. Joints in the gold chain, living it up, living it up, living it up. Now I'm stunting like a big timer. The boy started from the bottom like
put a little bit of that over that bolter right there. Put some highlights down, you see? Keep it nice and classy there.
joints in the gold chain, living it up, living it up, living it up. Pin sagging gold krills, living trilling the cut, trilling the cut.
Classic combo.
Living it up, living it up, living it up.
Burnt red and pulled power red always works.
From the bottom like Drake, I'm a big climber. Like this. No one can stop this.
Now, if you want to go one step higher, you can go to the ultra red pinnacle. Take a little white, mix it into the red, create a pink. Right? Go take it to all the way to the peak. And see, you can just let it ride like that. Shit looks tight as fuck. But if your brain doesn't let you do that, some people have an issue with pink for some reason. I don't fucking understand it. That's actually what shiny red would do. We just take transparent yellow, lower the opacity of the transparent yellow, and just go over those little highlights you made with a little transparent yellow. And bring that warmth back in. There you go. So we got that silly combi plasma locked in. We've got a lot of our bullshit crotch details curated. We still have 5 minutes before we're technically behind schedule.
All my babies in the house with lipstick on their mouth. We ain't never leaving till they kicking us out. Coogie sweater with the leather. I rap better.
I'm gonna get the balance up.
Imitator. All the ladies love me cause I'm a Mac. Never whack. Always got a plan of attack. Money stack. I'm the best in the game. Ride around in the range. Got my dog riding shotgun just to holler at the babes. They all know me round here. I bring lyrical fear. Fly around in the mad party having, only hits blasting. I just bought a mansion up in Aspen. And if anyone's asking, the only one you need, where else would you want to be? It's me. I'm a K-I-N-G, baby, I'm all you need. In the off-white Rari, baby, we run the streets.
So that's where we're at.
I'm a K-I-N-G, Westside royalty.
Get all this nonsense sorted out.
Baby, that's all you need. I'm a K-I-N-G, baby, I'm all you need. In the off-white
Milo says nods, love the pink. Talons, teeth, dentures, and a whole lot of pink. Nids, fucking predictive text. My nods.
I'm a K-I-N-G, baby, that's all you need. I'm a king.
Let me get a white bat. Let me get a white bounce in here. Actually, because he's feeling like he wants some white bounce.
Get extra hug at the barbecue and the cookout. Homies on the lookout cause they wanna get pushed out. My crew is all love to the end. Ride around in the Benz that I cop for my friends. I'm the leader of the gang. My girl loves when I do my thing, pushing grain. 24-inch Lorenzo's what I spend, though. I'm telling you, my whip game is meant. Taking baby girl out the Honda too, and take her to the pad for a rendezvous. Look at all the stuff that your man can bring.
Just a little off frame. There we go.
They call me a king. I'm a K-I-N-G, baby, I'm
Bouncing a little bit on him. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I think we got some great Dark Angel action here. We got some of the classics. We've got a different take on the green, how we curated that green. Yeah, I'm with it. So we'll jump into the whip session. About the Zarb. Who killed him? Why did he die, Recoil? Did he die in Dark Vengeance? Now, if you're just tuning in and maybe you saw some of the other thumbnails and you haven't been here before, we did just finish Magnus. And so Chad Magnus has a full range of tutorials, exclamation point Chad, on Patreon right now. Remember, we have a promo, exclamation point patrons. You sign up $10 a month right now during my show and you DM me, you get a free painting consultation video call. But if you want to see how we did this, I think this took us sub 20 hours. I think like 16 paint hours to get this result, which I think is pretty good for something this big. And that's, you know, being filmed. This is all just techniques as well. There's really nothing. There's almost nothing on this guy that we didn't do on Balthazar. It's airbrush cheating. My nods versus GDI. So your nids versus gangster. I don't know what the GDI is. He said Hail Kane. This is Eldar. Okay, we're jumping into Discord right now, guys. Exclamation point whip. Command and Conquer reference. Ah. All right, here we go. We got Sir Crow. Working on his Zangors. Here we go, some 1K Suns. Looking good. Little crystals, I like that. Dark stuff dark, bright stuff bright. Good use of your wash technique here. Kind of get it laid down. Get dark stuff dark, bright stuff bright. Clean execution of details. Solid, man. In the current timeline, hold on. The line is finding the fallen and making them the risen. If they re-swear their oaths. Wait. The line's letting these dudes off the hook? So, but the fallen are just guys that followed Luther, right? They like strayed from Catholicism, and now like he's letting them back in, right? That's like the whole thing, right? The line's like the Pope, right? Most of the fallen didn't even know what was going on. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you're just... I mean, who, like, just like in Catholicism, right? Balazar was killed just after the Great Rift opened and was replaced as Fifth Company captain by Lazarus, the first archangels to cross the Rubicon. Oh yeah. Good job, Sir Crow. We got Headstover up here. Speed painting some Stargrave minis. This is looking good. That's an excellent speed paint right here, homie. And what's Stargrave? Is this the Star Wars one? Are these actual production models? Man, these are terrible. Like, I'm like looking at GW models and looking at these fucking straight hobos. Is this a board game or a miniature game? Not so Super Mario tuning in over on YouTube. We're doing a little whip sash Super Mario right now. Exclamation point whip. Yeah, good job, Headstover. Your fucking speed paint technique is dope. Let's take a look at Acrim Pin, Moonstone Knoll, the Troll. Is this a new person on Discord? Are you a YouTuber? Are you a Team Dumpster Fire? Or are you coming in on Twitch? It's looking like kind of like a contrast paint job. It's hard to tell though, because you got some dark stuff and some bright stuff. The skin is a little muddled, which is a good effect. But I see an overall lack of paint control happening here, which I think you can sure that up with a little bit of just a little bit of technique. But it looks good, right? The skin is muddled. He looks like a swamp man. I like this fur on his back and these like mushrooms. It's kind of a hard model to paint though, no lie. Like these types of models are tricky. Like one of the issues is that you've got like this grass and this moss built into the model, and it's mutated into a skin. But like, how do you delineate between the two areas, right? It takes a little technique, right? Paint wash strategies, a little blending technique. Because what's happening here is you've got an overall like lack of contrast. You've got some dark stuff dark, some bright stuff bright, but like, where does he begin, the forest end? There still has to be something to indicate that that is occurring. And so you definitely need to kind of strengthen the dark stuff dark, bright stuff bright concepts on models like this. But they don't make it easy. These models don't make it easy. They're pretty advanced to get the contrast on these. Not easy like a Space Marine. The wood looks good too. Love this mushroom on the base. Great job there too. We got War Pigment. Thanks for the share. On the Troll. Acrim War Pigment last Thursday's list and progress. Here we go. Stormboy, Nid people. Oh yeah, look at that. Yo, how cool is that? It's always awesome to see it like this. Do you ever finish up that giant piece that you were working on? That's not it, right? Or is that it? Oh, I guess that is it. No, is it? When did you finish it when I wasn't noticing? Yeah, this is your old big one. Okay, what about the new big? What about the second big one? Yeah. The one you had Rottweiler print for you? What the hell? Somebody just like join our Discord server and advertise? Is that ours? That must be something else. Sorry, I was banging out a text to Cody.
Excellent!
Yo, Kieran Brown, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. All right, I think we got it. Thank you for tuning in on the old Hobo Tube. All right, wrapping up this whip session. We're still mostly on schedule. Thanks for the share, guys. You guys kept it clutch this week. All right, give me a second. This is mid-roll promotion. It's about 87 of you guys across platform. I appreciate you guys for kicking it with me this weekend. Big promotions as we move into the holidays. Exclamation point patrons, I'm running a promo where if you sign up during the show for 10 or more bucks, you DM me on Patreon and you get a free like half credit for my course. So like a painting consultation, schedule it out, use Zoom, Discord, because I'm trying to generate a bigger base on Patreon. It is 2x dogs every weekend for our reward program here. Shout out to all these sponsors you see here. Can't do it without them. And we do have a super post on Patreon. Anybody who's curious, you can see like literally all of our big projects that we've been doing over the years and all in one place, just like Chad over here. So we take our live stream, we cut out the bullshit like what's happening right now. We cut all this shit out. So it's just a painting. And we publish them all in one place, so you can go through this big super list and you'd be like, oh, Angron, fuck yeah, let's go. No movie magic, show you how to do it. What did Cody say over here? Good. Anybody else posting? All right, we're good. Back to it. Oh my God, Cody. Everyone's all excited about the Diablo season update we're getting on the 5th. So my whole squad's going off. Oh my God, he's so dumb. Oh my God. 8%. He's so dumb. Oh my God, he's ridiculous. Hold on. What do you think I am doing right now? He's like, yo, you want to play right now? Love minis? Oh no, we're good. No, oh my God, he's so dense. He can't figure it out. Telling him right now, talking shit on you live. Now he's like, I hate you. All right, this is where we are, love minis. Welcome back. How you feeling? So now I want to get the headpiece addressed. We were kind of holding off on it. Now, like, it would be sick to be able to dry brush it. Like, I think we might be able to partially dry brush it. I just don't think it's smart. I think you just got to get in there and get it done. Love Minnie says, glad to be home. I bet you are. So, you pretty much have to you could lightly dry brush it. God, I kind of feel like we should try it. I feel like you might even be able to get like a good base dry brush on it. And then you just kind of clean it up. So let's just take our small, soft, round dry brush. Just pinching it dry. And I kind of feel like just go this way. You guys see that? See if we can get behind the sword. Problem is getting right here. Kind of impossible. But you can get a lot of it sorted out right now. Very dry, respectful dry brushing. See that? Seahawks, Pump Squad in the house.
Milk was a bad choice.
It's my man Cody, Seahawks. I was just talking to you, man. What was going on? We're working on a Dark Vengeance Dark Angel from that thrift shop score I got 3 months ago. This is a total thrift store rescue. Some kid painted it. We stripped it down. And now we're painting them up 2011 style. Right? Is that the year? Or it's 11 years old. Right now we're just doing a light dry brush to kind of set the wings in motion on his headpiece. Kind of build a little paint by numbers kind of structure for ourselves. But we're going to have to get in there with the paintbrush. There's no way around it. See, Haas, you're scheming that Black Templar vibe. That's right. That's what you were saying. So, kind of have to... And so the thing is, the headpiece has to be pretty damn close to white is the issue. While keeping... Oh, God, it's so tricky. So let's see if we can move in here. So with the small brush. See, what we're trying to do is really push those lines we just deployed with the dry brush. We're trying to push them harder and sharper. It's a pain in the dick. So many feathers. I'm not even sold on this as the method. Seahawks, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm using a little heart pull right here. See, I'm trying to get more and more white to creep in there. There goes love. Thank you. Yo, Dark Angels can give you that feeling too, Seahawks. Okay, I'm gonna take a little sky blue. Okay. Lower the opacity. And glaze a little bit in here. Okay. We're just kind of introducing a cooling factor to the blue-white interaction. Tight little bluish filter, you see that? A little bit more white. High opacity, low moisture. Rotate down. So that's tricky down here. So we're going to clean some of the dark edge up. And so a lot of that dark edge is coming from our black blue over here. Macro, what's up, man? Get to catch me 2 days in a row. What's up, man? Probably working on a real army. That's our black blue. I'm just kind of sending a low opacity variant back in to rebuild some of that dark edge right there. Let's get a little bit of a gray going again, just adding more white back in. And in my opinion, this is kind of the most important part of the model. Getting this headdress to cut that image, you see? And we glazed a little bit of the sky blue in. Just basically taking some right here, lowering the opacity substantially. Take some of that moisture off. Send a little bit of it in as a filter. Try to create just a nice cooling vibe right here. And it helps smooth out any harsh lines as well. So that's a pain in the dick. Now the one behind his sword is going to be the most bullshit. Let's take a little bit of the black blue, mix it in with the sky blue. Let's make sure we've got some solid dark lines. Lost some of them here. So I'm gonna be a little nitpicky on that, especially on this angle. Because that's the fucking angle that you see the most of. The back, I'll let it ride with the dry brush, but now the hard part is sneaking in right here. Behind that sword. So, I'm kind of just like praying right here. I'm looking down here. There we go. We got something going. See, and the sword is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it means we don't have to go nearly as detailed. It's a curse because it's hard to get in there at all to do any detail. Send a little bit of our cooling blues in. Ruby over on YouTube says just randomly came into this feed. Haven't seen your channel for a long time now, and hearing your voice took me back to a time when I was really low and was been watching your stuff and pushing my hobby really hard to distract from a lot of emotional stuff. You great content, bro. Thanks. I appreciate you saying that. We've been here for 7 years doing this on Twitch, and very recently they let me do a multi-stream because I'm a partner on Twitch. So after 7 years, this year, we just a couple weeks ago started doing this to where it's on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So welcome back. I'm glad that I got to help you with something. God, this fucking headdress. Let's see, maybe I can sneak in from this angle. See, what I need to do is get like right here. It's so annoying. Getting something though. But we need to now we need to go back a step. A little darker. Run a little pin wash back into the gutter. Right there, maybe get a little of this sky blue variant. So we're just running a heart pull right here. Semi-opaque, just a little wet. Kind of rebuild some of that definition. Trying to emulate at least a passable version on this side to this side. From the front right here, I'm really just looking straight through here. That's really all I care about now. Because I think we've got it from this angle. Ruby, your attitude always cheered me up and gave me drive. Thank you. That's validating to hear. I appreciate you saying. Have you been hobbying? Let's see if we can. God, please. Let me just get it right here. We're doing a very gentle heart pull right there. Oh yeah, look, baby. We can probably let that ride. So let's get the frame. The frame is clutch. So let me stop pussyfooting with this fucking transparent brown mistake I made earlier. Why do I have so much transparent brown? This is insane. Do I actually have? I mean, like, I feel like I don't even have mahogany. This is ridiculous. Huh, I got it. We're good. So we got some mahogany. We're going to start with a little mahogany and orange mixed together. And we're going to carefully paint the frame. I feel like poured that into a puddle of water. It's too wet. So we're looking for the heart pull.
Call me the champion. Welcome to my kingdom. Survival is my instinct. Caught up in the
Right there.
You better listen. Call me the champion.
So we're just locking it in real quick with a quick orange base coat. And see the frame locks in right here. And it becomes his angry eyes. See? Now the tricky part when you do anything that can be considered trim is that there's always the shelf, like the riser, between the two plates. So you see, you want to be really careful here. That's where you want to really rely on the heart pull strategy. See right here, it's where it's tricky right here. That's it's so tricky. Always be rotating, looking for those heart pulls. Got a little out of whack there. It'll ride for now. Yo, Sin, what's up, girl? Let's get right here. We're just heart pulling on that rail gently. We're using orange, which is just mahogany mixed with just straight up orange. And we're bringing that frame down to his angry eyebrows. We're going to run a bit of a tracer right here. Getting this first base coat is so crucial. And right here, look. Woo, man. It's irritating to say the least. Oh, that's weird. What was that message? Phone. Keep getting a... What's $87.59? Like, I swear to God, Amazon's been trying to charge my locked credit card that for like fucking weeks. Is that like a scam? I can't find anything on my Amazon portal. I feel like somebody's like got that credit card and has been trying to fucking buy something for $87.59 on Amazon. I mean, I locked that card 3 months ago. Like, it's one of the bills I've been paying off. Like, I pretty much maxed this card out during my move. I locked it. So, they're like, hey, your locked card has been declined again. So let's elevate the coloring now. So we're gonna do. It's funny. It's been the same amount though. It's like it's almost like it's some kind of subscription fee that you're trying to charge me. Let's try it right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be bright here. Right here. Bright, dark, bright. Let's go to the angry eyes. Right here. Cam, what's up, man? Thanks for the follow. Is that the dick pill subscription I forgot about? It might be. I mean, it literally might be. Bright, dark, bright. So what we're doing here is we're gonna start blending it by just splitting the difference. Okay, so we're using this right here. Let's just add a little bit more brown back in. Right here. So that's a little darker. Okay. 12 minutes. Maybe the Circle K creeper. That's right, man. Okay, let's get the straight up golden brown. Right here. Okay. Bright, dark, bright. Going high opacity, low moisture. Right there. But right here, I'd like to get a bit of an edge highlight. See right here. See how it's 3 paints. There's something at the bright side of the spectrum, something at the dark side, and something that links them together. And it's up to you to just kind of respectfully layer your way to success here. Following the tri-blend rule of NMM from my curriculum. Try to put that little line right there. Because you need to edge highlight borders if you can. With NMM. See? Bright, dark, bright. The darker you go and the brighter you go, the shinier it is. So the closer to white, see? And this isn't still not white. That's just white mixed in with the ochre. We haven't blended anything. This is straight up effects that I teach in my course. Once you take the 101 course and you learn the all these little brushstrokes and cheat codes I'm talking about, 3 courses or 3 classes, and then you're ready for glazing. And once you learn glazing, you're ready for effects. Super easy. So you got to be able to edge highlight at the very least. Love minis. My cats will not stay out of the salad. Out of my salad. They aren't even supposed to eat lettuce. Yeah, they're fucking cats. What are they doing with your salad? Cats, stop eating the salad. That's weird. So at the very least, you need to have solid edge highlight game based on the way we break down edge highlighting. If you have that, you don't need to know shit about blending to do this. Because if you can do high opacity, low moisture brush control, you can just simulate blending all day, every day. Now, this thing is round, so I'd like to have like fake edge highlights on it too, but that's always tricky. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So I got some pure white right here. Stippling. Right there. Get my music player in. My new licensed music. It did. 7.5 minutes left in today's promo. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. So, what I mean by the fake highlight is, first off, it'd be tight if there was a highlight on both sides of this right here. And this is tricky. So we actually want to get here. And here. I'm using a little tracer technique right here. It's not easy because you can fuck up and paint the feathers by accident. So using like a tip tracer. So you gotta be cognizant of tip penetration. See what I mean? Like that extra line right there. See how that starts to look more metallic when you get that extra frame? Look at that. What's going on with my playlist? It's like it's not auto-playing anymore. That's one of the secrets to the NMM is you got to get those frames. See that? Game changer, see? The second you connected those together. Now we have to go back in time. We only got 4 minutes, so we got to go down a step to more of our initial kind of brown orange range. There's a little bit of this. So we're finding like kind of a mid-tone, because right here got a little rough. I'm trying to smooth that out. There we go. And so you see, this is one of the things I was worried about was these inner frames. Because of how mission critical it is, you see? Shoebox needs some quarters. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of the playlist right now, and like I need to like refresh it. It's like busted. I don't think it knows what to do. Oh, it's going to be so loud. Fucked it up. It's so busted. It's 2 minutes. You see, we want to. You kind of want to do the same thing here too. On this one. See that? You see how much more power you get out of the effect when you can hit the lines on the sides? But and it's not too bad if you fuck up a little bit because it's easy to patch mistakes. Like what I'm doing right now. And we put a lot of orange in the one on his headdress. But we're still not done with it. We're almost out of time though, so we're gonna have to come back to it later.
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty. Uh-oh. You gotta get swifty. Oh, yeah. Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
But I think that's a good stopping point though. I feel like we can do a little better here. This one could be slightly enhanced. I think. But we'll come back to it. I don't want to get bogged down. Got classes to teach tonight. So I gotta get my shit ready.
Question.
What?
Are we not saying phrasing anymore? I'm coming! Phrasing, boom!
Come on, make a hole.
Phrasing, boom.
Tell Archer I'm coming for him.
More
Phrasing
pigment.
and
Thank you, brother.
Bulgari's out.
Or Pigment tossing me $2 just cuz. I appreciate you. Now, if you're just tuning in for the first time, you haven't seen any of this before, follow me on Patreon. That's where all the VODs live. Today we were able to get all this detail bullshit locked in. We did a bunch of Wish.com NMM. Secretly easy. We airbrushed all the fabric. It hasn't even been touched by a paintbrush, really. We airbrushed it all with ivory, and then we just blocked in a red, and then we kind of just cheated our airbrush in. So we haven't even touched the fabric. We just made little things darker, little things brighter, using our pillar techniques of our painting system that many of my students are actually in chat. They can attest to. But I can't wait to get to the fabric because I want to make it super gangster. I'm going to try to make it dramatic as fuck. And the sword is going to be awesome. And also, guess what else is in that Dentine ice container that was in that Dark Vengeance box? There's the Lord with the 2 lightning claws. Who was all painted up crudely. He's in there soaking too. Let me write down some stuff. Today is the 2nd. It's Seahawks. Thanks, man. Writing down some Final Four people. Seahawks, Soromon, Recoil, War Pigment. You guys are my Final Four. Automatically entered in the Top D Grand Prix. Where's the raid going today, Love Minis? We're going to be raiding off of the Twitch platform, so if you're following along anywhere else, if you're following along on YouTube, we're getting ready to transfer over to someone. Dice Check is on right now, though. I think Tameki's playing right now. He's playing his Tau, I believe. If you guys are unfamiliar, this is literally Demeki's face that I keep here because he's ridiculous. thought they were. Are they simul streaming? I thought they did their battle reports on YouTube. Okay, so we are raiding right now, guys. Queue up on the raid here on the old Twitch. Thank you guys all for fucking hanging with me today. I hope to see you guys on Patreon soon. Thank you, Saruman, the White OG. I appreciate you. Love Minis, the Beast Mod, Replay, and everyone else. I'll see you guys on Tuesday at our new time, 6 p.m. And as always, until we meet again, play on, players.